In today's news, BVI Government backpedals, resumes vaccinations in 3 weeks on account of UK confirmation of additional vaccines. Governor seeks to reassure the public that vaccines will actually arrive. GoFundMe created to assist Karvin Robin, a truck driver who narrowly escaped after his truck overturned on a residential property. Tourism sector on life support, says BVICCHA. The chamber warns of delayed economic recovery, and the Lettsome House wins the inter-school track and field sports. We have all this and more when 284 News returns. Welcome everybody. It's Friday, March 5th, 2020. I'm Ron Grant and you're watching us live from 284 Media out of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. A fantastic Friday to one and all. Thanks for joining us. Beginning on the local scene. In an official media broadcast on the evening of March 4th, 2021, Minister for Health and Social Development, the Honorable Karvin Malone, announced that the government of the Virgin Islands will be continuing with the vaccine rollout plan after this week announcing to the dissatisfaction of many residents that the program was being halted due to the delay in vaccines arriving from the United Kingdom. The re-administering of the vaccines has been made possible after officials out of the UK have officially confirmed that a shipment of an additional 12,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine to the BVI will arrive on March 17th. Additionally, the minister confirmed that partnership for resuming the vaccine rollout is being done alongside local healthcare providers through a signing of a memorandum of understanding. He said, and I quote, "The MOU will be executed with qualified private healthcare providers and require them to conduct vaccinations at no administrative or product cost to persons or to the National Health Insurance Program." Malone did not name the healthcare providers that will be engaging in this service. With the anticipation of the new shipment arriving on March 17th, officials hope to begin vaccinating new persons on March 25th, with some 4,474 persons having already been administered the vaccine to date. Now, the pause in the rollout program allows, they say, officials to save the remaining vaccines for the first group of residents who have already taken the first dose of the vaccine. Minister Malone sought to assure the public by saying, and I quote, "We have secured enough doses for the entire adult population of the BVI and will continue to work closely with the Chief Medical Officer to ensure BVI has the supply when it needs, with the carvent that will need to be planned in advance." Minister Malone further stated that there is no need to further halt the program, stating, and I quote, "Provisionally, we have a further 12,000 doses penciled in for the 31st of March, providing we continue a steady, planned approach. I hope you will agree that there is no need to further pause the vaccination program, and we should continue to encourage people to come forward for that all-important first dose." With the recent announcement, many residents are still asking and saying, why wait 3 more weeks to resume? Now, continuing on in an official release, Governor of the Virgin Islands of Tortola BVI is seeking really to assure persons, His Excellency John Ranking, that is, residents, that the second vaccine will indeed arrive in the territory from the UK. The second vaccine delivery will arrive from the United Kingdom, he said, with AstraZeneca, and is incredibly effective in protecting the elderly, he said, against severe COVID-19. A further, as we mentioned earlier, 12,000 doses of the vaccines are scheduled to arrive in the BVI on March 17th as part of the UK's continuing commitment to provide COVID-19 vaccines to the overseas territories. This follows the 8,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine delivered to the BVI from the UK on February 4th. Now, since then, as we mentioned, some 4,000 people have been vaccinated, and the UK remains committed, they say, to providing further doses of the vaccine to enable the adult population, BVI, to be protected from the virus. Now, the second vaccine delivery from the UK will allow people in the BVI to have their second dose of the vaccine well within the prescribed 12-week limit. An effective vaccine is the best way, he said, to defeat COVID-19. New research conducted in the UK has proven the exceptional protection given by the AstraZeneca vaccine against the virus. Public Health England found a single dose of the vaccine is more than 80% effective at preventing hospitalization in people over 80 years old. Not only is the vaccine safe for people over 65, but the evidence shows that the vaccine is working to really reduce infections and save lives. Everyone who would like to take up the life-saving opportunity is encouraged by the governor and guidance from the Ministry of Health to do so and register as soon as possible. Now, His Excellency Governor John Rankin said, and I quote, "The UK remains committed to supporting BVI's vaccination program, and it's working for the tracking of COVID-19 pandemic. The next batch of vaccines arriving shortly will be further clear evidence of this commitment and of the UK and BVI's continued partnership. I had my first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine," he said, "a few weeks ago and feel very well. The new research," he continued, "reinforces that the already new vaccines reduce infection and save lives, protecting even the most vulnerable. I thank all those health officials in the BVI who have been working so hard to roll out the vaccine to the public. I encourage all those who wish to get it to get vaccinated and make the most of this life-saving opportunity." The BVI has been one of the first countries across the Caribbean region to receive the vaccine, and he said this is an opportunity to make the Virgin Islands one of the safest places to live and visit. Continuing on the local scene, the BVICCHA, in an official release, has warned of the delay of the economic recovery in the British Virgin Islands. As the proactive voice, they say, of the business community, the BVI Chamber of Commerce and Hotel Association is continuing to raise concerns that the tourism sector is on life support. They say they are disappointed at the news that the opening of the seaports has again been delayed for a second time since the initial announcement to open seaports in December of 2020. The seaports are the main port of destination access in the Virgin Islands, and further delay to April of 2021 at the end of the regular tourism season is another blow to an already fragile situation. Based on the statistics, the BVICCHA states that this additional delay on the reopening of the seaports would mean that for a second year in a row, the accommodations and food sector, which accounted for some $80 million in economic activity in 2016, has suffered another major disruption that could result in permanent business closure. While the business community appreciates the priority of public health and safety, a balance is needed, they say, to protect livelihoods that, if not preserved, will have a long-lasting impact on results in the socioeconomic fallout, such as poverty due to chronic underemployment or unemployment. Now, the tourism sector businesses, which have earned little to no revenue over the past 12 months, continue to find themselves in a dire position and unable to return persons to work or pay severance without going bankrupt. It is important to remember that the local economy is integrated, and if one sector is in distress, there is significant impact across all sectors. For example, the professional services sector, including the transportation, wholesale, and retail sectors, will also have negatively impacted. As a result, in October of 2020, many businesses that rely on the tourism dollar directly or indirectly have exhausted savings trying to survive thus far, and some are going into debt trying to sustain operations. Some businesses, they say, are still reporting that they have not received business relief assistance promised from some 6 months ago. Now, this situation further highlights the need for immediate strategic actions to diversify the economy of the Virgin Islands in the next 3 to 5 years to limit the economic shockwave of this magnitude. The BVICCHA is again making a call and an appeal for a comprehensive economic recovery and development plan to be developed within the stakeholder consultation that include unemployment benefit scheme, economic relief and paycheck protection program, bank deposit insurance, moratoriums, and bankruptcy regulations. Long-term goals such as diversification, workforce development plan, and regulations that make a more business-friendly environment also needs to be included in this plan. Now, a key element is to start this planning process in a quarterly economic reporting to provide information for planning and decision-making. Now, the business community has a vital role to play in the Virgin Islands economy success and to initiate dialogue on the way forward. The BVICCHA will be hosting, they say, a virtual business stakeholders meeting on this Thursday, March 11th, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. All business owners are invited to attend and to share their concerns and ideas at this event. You can register on their website at bviccha.org. That is the very vocal, always have been, BVICCHA on the economic fallout that has been happening amidst COVID-19. Viewers, still ahead, the Commission of Inquiry issues a clarification on the role of the IRU. They say it is not part of the Commission of Inquiry, and emergency medical services advancing to better serve, while the BVI Health Minister applauds women in COVID-19. All this and so much more when 284 News returns. Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Gentlemen, aspiring gentlemen, and our partners that hold us down. It's season 2 of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, taking you on the most inspiring journey with the best and brightest distinguished gentlemen of the BVI. Raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men like you've never seen them before. Governor Augustus J.U. Jasper, Jovan Klein, Neil Klein, and so much more. Turning modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen with yours truly, Ron Grant, a 284 Media production. Viewers, welcome back. You're watching 284 News. I'm Ron Grant. Continuing on the local scene here in the British Virgin Islands, in an official release, the Commission of Inquiry has released a statement seeking to clarify the role of the IRU. The statement said, it has been brought to the Commission's attention that recent publicity and information about the BVI Government's Inquiry Response Unit, known as the IRU, is having a misleading effect, resulting in confusion about the IRU's role and function. To be clear, the IRU is not part of the Independent Commission of Inquiry. It is a unit set up by the BVI Government to work in conjunction with the Attorney General Chambers, with a modest but helpful goal of assisting with the mechanisms of producing information and requests by the Commission of Government officials. The Commissioner has written to the Attorney General to register his concern about this publicity and asking for it to be corrected. While the Commissioner welcomes the establishment of the IRU to help implement the BVI Government's expressed policy that all ministries, departments, statutory bodies, and government-owned entities provide appropriate and timely cooperation with the inquiry, he wants to be reassured and reassure members of the public and public officers of the public that the IRU is wholly separately from the Commission. The Commission is and will remain entirely independent of the BVI Government. Now, members of the public cannot engage with the Commission through the IRU. If they wish to engage with the Commission, they should contact it directly. The Commission renews its open invitation to anyone who believes they have information that may assist with the inquiry, who has not yet submitted it to the Commission, to submit that information as soon as possible via the secure website portal at bvi.public.inquiry.uk. That's bvi.public.inquiry.uk. Now, the Commission of Inquiry, as you all know, was announced on January 18th, 2021 to really look into whether or not corruption, abuse of office, or the serious dishonesty, any serious dishonesty, has taken place amongst public officials elected and statutory offices in recent years. Sir Gary Hickborn, who's photoed, is the sole commissioner. The medical emergency services in the British Virgin Islands is undergoing development to reflect rapid changes in healthcare delivery with the goal of providing advanced medical care at the scene, ensuring transport to definitive care. Now, this was recently announced through a Government Information Services press release. Emergency Disaster Management Coordinator and paramedic Mr. Rodney Bradwitt said that the strategic partnership between the BVI Health Services Authority and the H. Laverty Community College will provide pre-hospital care training in the territory. 13 students are currently enrolled in the 11th month blended EMT training program designed by Mr. Rodney Bradwitt and EMS Medical Director Mr. Dominic Fraser. Now, the course is comprised of lectures, research, and online discussion forums. In addition to online sessions, students also take part in stimulation lab sessions as well as clinic rotations in the hospital and on the ambulance. In an official comment, he said medical Spanish and math as well as technical English have also been added to the curriculum. The Spanish component in particular was added in order to give pre-hospital care providers the ability to communicate more efficiently and effectively with the BVI's Spanish community. Mr. Bradwood further stated that, and I quote, "As we enter a new decade, we eagerly look forward to the future of pre-hospital care. This future will include dramatic improvements in patient care thanks to advances in research, information, sharing, and life-changing technology. The catastrophic events of 2017 have highlighted the need for building community-based disaster resilience. The BVI Health Services Authority really is strengthening their partnership with stakeholders to assist with this process by training personnel within the communities and with the necessary skills provided." Now, pre-hospital care are very important, especially during such disasters. Minister for Health and Social Development, the Honorable Karvin Robin, has hailed women's contribution to the health and social response of COVID-19 in the British Virgin Islands at the UN ECLAC's 60th meeting of the presiding officers of the Regional Conference on Women in Latin America and the Caribbean. Now, in his presentation to the conference on the territory's implementation of the Santiago Commitment that calls on governments to support and protect women during the COVID-19 pandemic, Honorable Minister Malone said, and I quote, "I would like to pay tribute to the many women who are at the heart of the health services and social services in the British Virgin Islands, without whom we could not have mounted a robust health and social response to COVID-19. Women are disproportionately represented in the health and social sectors." Honorable Malone went on to describe the government's support to women on the front lines, saying, and I quote, "Throughout this pandemic, we have done everything in our power to ensure these brave women have the personnel protective equipment needed to safely do their jobs. We are also ensuring that as we roll out our vaccination program, that they get the needed vaccinations so they are protected from illness. They remain on the front line of containing the virus. Their lives are continuously at risk in doing everything from testing to monitoring to policy development, coordination, and implementation. As a minister responsible for health and gender, I am truly, truly grateful." In addition, the minister highlighted the negative impact of COVID-19 on women, particularly in the tourism sector, and the response by government and other partners to assist the vulnerable. In response to the financial challenge faced by women and other vulnerable persons, we approved a modest economic stimulus package that provided financial and social assistance, including unemployment payments to laid-off persons, financial assistance to impacted businesses, and also financial assistance to civil society. We have continued to work with local NGOs such as the Family Support Network to ensure that struggling families are fed. Women are disproportionately benefiting from the assistance being provided by the government in collaboration with civil society, the private sector, and international partners. Now, he further continued by saying, "We have continued to campaign through targeted messaging and the step-up efforts for our Social Services Office and the police to discourage the abuse of women and children and to intervene as required. Now, in regard to its economic recovery from COVID-19, Honorable Malone emphasized the importance of women as tourism steadily rebounds and the economy strengthens on the back of robust health and entry protocols that he says are keeping COVID-19 under control and public safety. According to the health minister, he said, our well-functioning system will allow us to receive greater numbers of tourists that will boost our economy and create more jobs. This will help to observe those women who need employment. To support this effort, we are providing, retaining with the generous assistance of international labor organizations. Now, speaking on the BVI's participation in the regional UN meeting on women, he continued by saying it is extremely important that we remain engaged with the wider Latin America and Caribbean region on the impact of the global pandemic on women. It was useful to share our experience over the years and past months to help hear how others are supporting women in their own context with respect to social protection and economic recovery. Everyone learns and gains from such exchanges, which will help to make our COVID-19 response more effective. Now, Honorable Malone was joined by Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Social Development, Ms. Tasha Bertie, Director of International Affairs Secretariat, Ms. Najan Christopher, Special Envoy to the Premier's Office, Mr. Benito Wheatley, Assistant Secretary for External Affairs, Ms. Dwinelle Davis, Program Officer, Ms. Zaira Wheatley, Director of the BVI London Office, Ms. Tracy Bradshaw, and Deputy Director of the BVI London Office, Ms. Sibehan Flax. Now, the BVI is a Vice Chair of the UN ECLAC's presiding offices of the Regional Conference on Social Development, as well as a Vice Chair of the regional body's Caribbean Development and Cooperation Committee. Now, viewers, the minister's comments and statement comes just before we are celebrating International Women's Day this coming Monday. We continue to support the women of our territory as they continue to support us on the front line of COVID-19. Sticking with us, we're going to have so much more as we continue our newscast. The ESHS Lettsome House, they emerge as the inter-house track and field, and we're going to touch on a very sentimental story that we covered earlier. A GoFundMe page has been created for the truck driver, Mr. Robin, who's really had severe problems being trapped after his truck rolled over on a residential property. So we have all these details after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Father Jesus, that line along like church service.
Alright, you enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Viewers, welcome back. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola. Now on to the final leg of local news. Lettsome House, one of the Elmore Stout High School, and really just accumulated a total of 330 points and defeated defending champions Fleming House 3 to regain at the Elmore Stout High School Inter-House Track and Field champions. Fleming House 3 oust Carlisle House 4 by 4 points, 286 to 282 to place second, while O'Neill House 2 finished with 226 points. In addition, historic moment at the Elmore Stout High School Inter-School Track and Field Champions held yesterday, Thursday, March 4th. Mr. Jaleel Crow of Carlisle's House 4, joined by Al Potter of O'Neill House 2, as the only boys to be three-time victors since 2019 to 2021 in the history of inter-house competition since it was introduced to the Virgin Islands Secondary School by Carlisle Scott in 1957. Now, Lettsome House, Akila McMaster, the very talented, repeated as victrix, while Kaiba Dawson of the O'Neill House won his second victor and Jashani Farrington his first. We are so happy that students were able to enjoy some level of sports despite the fact that they were not able to, or still not able to, go back to school in full session. But we see where they were able to exercise their athletic performance, and we continue to wish them the very best. Family of the local truck driver that overturned about 40 feet on a residential property in Diamond Estate, Tortola on Saturday, February 27th have created a GoFundMe page in aid of garnering assistance towards his medical treatment. His name is Karvin Robin. He sustained head, neck, and hand injuries that will require medical attention after he became trapped inside his truck. Now, to many, his survival was nothing short of a miracle. Indeed, it was, after seeing the level of impact he sustained. Mr. Robin, a young Virgin Islands professional and businessman, has been hailed as a true fighter and is in need of assistance in order to successfully receive medical treatment abroad. Persons wishing to contribute to this cause are asked to visit the below link, and that can be found on our Facebook page, which you can also research GoFundMe, and his name is Karvin, that's K-A-R-V-I-N, Robin, R-O-B-I-N, or you can visit the link on our page if you do wish to support this cause, or feel free to share the link, and we continue to wish him the very best in his speedy recovery. Viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to like us on Facebook at 284 Media and 284 Media BVI on Instagram and Twitter. That is it for your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. I'm Ron Grant. We will see you on Monday as we deliver your daily dose of content ranging from across the region. We are so happy that you decided to join us, and we wish you a happy Friday and an even better weekend. Bye-bye.